Hello, Ryan Tate here, ryanbillytate.com. I'm shooting a video today on my favourite childhood memory for the Inspire Profit Network video challenge. My favourite memory, I grew up mainly in the hills of Perth, and we actually went to remote parts of the state. When I was young, we went to Kalgoorlie and Karratha, and Karratha was right up north. Good day's drive, just non-stop driving. We actually flew up though to go up that way, and moved up there, and I had a really enjoyable sort of time up there. A lot of my friends had motorbikes. We used to go ride on salt flats and on the motorbikes and ride through all the scrub and everything. And we used to go out to the mangroves, which were these trees that grew in salt water, really hearty trees that actually grew in the salt water, low-lying, almost like swampland sort of parts, but ocean rather than swampland. And there were deep holes that you could put this long metal hooks down, like a metre long, with a big fat hook like this on the bottom. And if you put it down these holes that were like this or larger, mud crabs would actually live down there. These massive crabs that had claws like the size of a adult hand. So used to be out till dark. I was only 10 years old and used to get these mud crabs and come back, 8 o'clock at night with a hessian sack full of, not full, but maybe 2 or 3 big fat mud crabs. There'd be enough meat to, feed a lot of people. You could give them to the neighbours and all sorts of things like that as well. So it was a pretty good lifestyle up there. And while we were up there, my mother actually did a fundraising venture for Rocky Bay, which is a place that's got a lot of disabled people in wheelchairs and the like, don't have use of their hands and things like that. I remember a particular lady didn't have arms at all, and she used to paint paintings like you wouldn't believe, just using her mouth. She'd put the paintbrush in her mouth and actually do paintings that way. So yeah, very, very clever people. So disabled in one way and very abled in other ways. So, but Mum raised $70,000 for that cause, and they had a big event to announce a winner, which was all sorts of different elements to coming up with a winner. And Mum actually won Mrs. WA, which is the state that we live in, Mrs. Western Australia, and then went on to compete against other women that won their various states around Australia as well. Winning Mrs. Western Australia, she actually won a car, a Toyota Camry, that she donated back to the cause, which they thought was very good of her. Even though I was excited as a kid, I thought, we won a new car. But and then the other thing she won was broom pearls, or this jewellery done using broom pearls, which are very lovely. And then the other part of the trip was either a holiday in the United Kingdom or America, and the parents ended up choosing America. And it was only for 2 people, so they paid the extra and took my sister Holly and I along to the States. So that I think I've chosen as my favourite childhood memory, because it was pretty amazing at that age to get to go over, and we landed in LA and then went down to San Diego, Tijuana, up to Phoenix in Arizona, where there's a big momentum day on for one of the other businesses that I am an affiliate with and love to bits. And then we went right over across to the Grand Canyon, down to San Francisco, and back to LA, and then we flew out to Hawaii for a week. I was going through puberty at the time and a very grumpy young teenager, so I look at all the photos from that period and thought, here I am at, we went to Disneyland, had 5 days in Disneyland, went to the Grand Canyon and saw is it Shamu, the whale that was in Free Willy, and did all these fantastic things, but I had this grumpy look on my face a lot of the photos, and There's one particular one on over the stars at Hollywood, the stars in the footpath, and here I am with this big frown on my face. So although I look back now and I'm very appreciative of that experience, so that was one of my favourite childhood memories. And I just wanted to add on this one, I did some trainings today on the power of words. Words are so powerful. So there's a saying, words are more powerful than swords, and I truly believe that. You can't take back what you say. There's a good little story where a dad, the boy keeps losing his cool and saying horrible things to his brothers and sisters, and had a real temper on him, probably a bit like me back in the days of going to the US for a holiday. And the dad said, look, each time you lose your temper or say a horrible thing to the family, I want you to grab a nail and hammer it into the fence. And a few weeks went past, and each time he lost it, the dad said, grab a nail, go smash it in the fence out the back. And the boys quickly got sick of doing that and became mindful of not doing that. And he said, Dad, I'm sick of doing that, and I'm controlling my temper now, and before I go and say a horrible thing to my brother or sister or you and Mum, I actually hold back and don't do it out of not wanting to go out the back and hammer away a big long nail into the fence. The dad said, well, that's fantastic, that's really good, son. So each time you control your temper and be mindful, I want you to go out and pull one of the nails out. So a couple of weeks passed, he kept doing this. He thought I was about to say something horrible, but no, he walked out the back and he pulled one of the nails out until they were finally all removed. And the dad said, well done, son, I'm very proud of you. Look at all the holes that are left in the fence though, from you saying horrible things over the last few weeks or so. So it can never be removed. Those holes are left. You know, it's like a dagger going into someone when you do say horrible things or give out that horrible energy. And there is an energy around, you know, our speech or comments. It can be comments as well. It doesn't have to just be speech. It can be comments that are being spoken to people that have a dense energy around them. So we want to speak things that have a light energy around them and speak positive or comment positive, and be very mindful of what we say to people, because it can really affect people, because words are stronger than swords, or more powerful than swords. So that was a really great training. I enjoyed that and wanted to share that, pass it on to people that may not have had the opportunity to see that training. And yeah, and just keep in mind that, you know, our brains are like transmitters, and the words that we put out can really affect the people around us. So if you've got any comments about that or any feedback that you'd like to add, please feel free to, or if you think someone might benefit from this, feel free to share it. And if you're wanting this sort of training, you know, both the two main companies that I'm an affiliate marketer for and feel very strongly about, I've been very picky with what I promote, have a lot of training around mindfulness, or mindset, I should say, mindset training. And you know, around, that's very important. We don't want to just market for money, or, you know, have our business to be money orientated. We do want to sort of do content marketing or attraction marketing, where you're putting those good vibes out and you're actually attracting the right sort of people to you that aren't in a sort of get rich quick mindset and that are wanting to better themselves. So I'll wrap this one up. I didn't want to go too long. Feel free to, as I say, leave a comment, share or like this, and yeah, give your feedback as well. I'd love your feedback. Ryan Tate signing out.